Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's Thursday and not a Wednesday. If you watch my Snapchat ever, then you kind of got a little picture last night of why it's Thursday and I'm finally uploading a video. I did film 2 videos last night. It took me like hours. Okay, maybe like an hour and a half, but I was exhausted by the end of it. Because I do like a hack, like lazy Cassie hack, I actually stack my phone on top of makeup palettes to get the right angle to film. So I didn't notice this when I was filming, but after I rewatched all of the videos I filmed, my makeup palette was like from here down and then it was only top of my face. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to refilm. But we'll talk about it. I was actually going to do the first episode of Totally Cassie, and the product was going to be Wonder Brows. But like I said, I didn't do it. I'm going to wait until I don't have anything on my brows because I'm wearing it right now. And then kind of film like a small, short tutorial and talk about why I love it. Okay, but anyway, enough about this. I feel like life always pushes you in the direction of things that are meant for you. And I felt like last night I was just filming and talking because something had happened and it kind of pushed me over the edge, and I really just needed to get it off my chest. And I thought to myself, I could not upload that, besides the fact half of my face was cut off. It was just so emotional, and it wasn't even like I was crying. It was just so deep, and I do want to show you guys a different side of me. I know I talk about it a lot, where I want to get a little bit more personal with you, but it was just too much right now. So if you follow me on Snapchat, I always feel like I say that, but Snapchat's a really great way to follow me and keep up with me because I freaking love photos and I love Snapchat. I was actually thinking today how most of my posts on Facebook would have been Snapchat before Snapchat was cool. So that was a thought that I thought today. I don't know why I'm still talking about it, but there it is. So if you follow me on Snapchat, you'll know the last 3 years, and especially the last year and a half of my life, has been crazy amounts of change and really good changes. I started a completely new career. I was a nanny forever, and now I'm an office professional. I got a new car. I bought a condo. I got a dog. Like all of this amazing stuff. I'm a redhead now. That is totally crazy because I was always super blonde, like bleach blonde, and now I'm a redhead. So it's just so much in my life is changing. It's positive changes. Like I'm losing weight now and blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. But one of the repercussions or things that I did that wasn't so great is I really held on to a bad relationship for too long. And I am now still dealing with the fallout from that. And that's kind of what happened last night, was everything kind of came to a head, and I was dealing with a huge issue last night, and I just needed to sit down and get it off of my chest and get it out. Like it was like from the movie, oh my gosh, now I can't think of it, with Lindsay Lohan. I can't believe I can't think of the name. Mean Girls, where she says word vomit. Like sometimes I think about that a lot when I'm talking or when I'm doing something. I'm just like, oh my god, this is word vomit just coming out of my mouth. And that's honestly what it was last night. I was so frustrated. I was just like, and blah 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 blah, which is not good. I obviously didn't upload it, but like I said, the universe kind of pushes you in the direction where you're supposed to go. So I just went to bed last night, called it quits, didn't refilm, and then this morning I woke up and I look on Facebook, and in my time hop, it reminded me 7 years ago today, Jordan broke up with me. Jordan is my high school boyfriend, and I just thought to myself, remembering exactly how I felt when we broke up, and then thinking about where I am today and how much I grew and changed, and I felt like maybe God was pushing me to share a little bit about that story and about what I had to overcome and where I am today. And I think maybe that's why all the pieces fit together and the way they did, and I got that one piece of information, like a place that I need to grow and work on, but like allowing me to see where I came from. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So here we go. So I met Jordan in high school when I was 15, and we met photography class. Of course, how romantic and perfect. And the very first day we sat right across from each other, and we were partnered up in a group, and that was basically that. Like, we ended up riding the same bus, and it was just like a rocket ship. And I'm not gonna sit here and say everything was perfect, because everything wasn't perfect. We stayed together through high school, then through college, and then after college, and maybe in there we broke up maybe twice. It doesn't even matter. None of that matters. But I thought I was gonna marry Jordan. I thought, like, I remember I used to say to him all the time, like, how lucky are we that we got to find each other when we were young, and we get to grow up together, and we don't need to, like, get our hearts broken, and we don't need to break up because we have each other. Can you imagine that there's people who are actually single in the world? I remember, like, having conversations with him all the time like that. I just was so in love with him. And towards the end of our relationship, I could, like, feel it falling apart, and I didn't want it to, and I loved him, and I stayed with him through deployments, and it was so hard. And one day he just came home from work, and he's like, cool, I'm like, peace out, I'm going to the movies. And I'm like, okay, I'm just out of the shower because I had a long day nannying. Let me get dressed and I'll come with you. And he's like, this is more of a me thing and you're staying home thing. And I was like, wait, we don't do things apart. That's ridiculous. And then he just broke up with me. And I basically was like, if you leave, you're leaving. And that's that. And he left the house, and I was mortified because A, I would never in a million years have ever believed that he was gonna leave me. And B, I was sitting in an apartment that he owned. The car that I drove, he owned. I had a job and I had my clothes, and that was it. And I never wanted to see his face again. And those were really the only things that I knew. And I just called my only friend. I was living in a different state. I was in South Carolina, but I wasn't even living close to where Shannon was. And I was speechless, and I didn't know what to do. I just started packing my shit, and I didn't have that much stuff. I really didn't. I just pulled all of my stuff out of the bedroom and all of my stuff out of the bathroom and put it in boxes, and the rest of my stuff I just, like, threw in the guest bedroom, and it was empty at the time, so it only had my stuff in it. And I just left. Someone came and picked me up, one of my friends, my only friend. And the breakup was really hard because I had a job and I had clothes, and everyone I thought was my friend were actually in the service, and they were told they couldn't talk to me because things between him and I were crazy, which they really weren't. Like, I was heartbroken and upset, but, like, I lost everything. Like, I thought that I had friends, but really I had friends that were friends with him that I hung out with and couldn't talk to me because they were his friends, not my friends. And I moved home eventually. I lived in Sumter, South Carolina with my roommate, my friend Beth, for a few months, and I moved home, and I bought a Daewoo for maybe $100. I think I might have paid $75 for it, but I can't remember. I think it was $100 or $75, and I just had to rebuild from nothing. I had nothing. I had no savings. I had nothing. I was, like, so fat. Like, I'm fat now, but I was like 280 pounds, and I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I didn't even know who I was. For so long, I was just Jordan's girlfriend, and I was just, like, his girlfriend who took pictures at his paintball practices and, like, made everyone food and cooked dinner for everyone that he was friends with. And that's who I was. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I didn't like. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't even know, like, have a career path or anything picked out for me. All I knew is I fell into nannying and it worked, and I thought I was going to get married one day. That's all I knew about myself. And I move home and I can't find a job and life is really hard. And my dad stopped talking to me when I was with Jordan because he's so mad at me. And he was like, well, if you're gonna live at my house, then you're gonna have to work for 8 hours. So I had to do 8 hours of yard work. And it was just the most miserable thing ever, because I am in this crisis of not knowing who I was. And he's like, you're either applying for jobs or you're doing 8 hours of yard work, and there's nothing in the middle. And I just threw myself into the gym because it was literally the only extra thing that I was allowed to do until I found a job. And I lost a bunch of weight and I did all of this amazing stuff. And now I bought my first car after my Daewoo, like my first real car. It was a Toyota Camry. Now I have a Corolla, so it's a little bit of a step up, a little bit more fun. But I just look back and I think how hard it was and how it felt like I was never going to be able to live again, and how much I had to overcome just in that short amount of time. That was 7 years ago. And then I am now, sorry, Lemon is going crazy. I can't believe I made 11 minutes without her barking. But now I just think, you know, I was really, really scared when I thought about leaving my current ex. But sometimes I think back to the day that I packed everything I owned into the back of a Daewoo and drove home in the pouring down rain. I couldn't even see in front of me. And I just think if I could do that, then I can do anything, and nothing is scary. So if you're going through something and it honestly feels like you don't know what to do, or you can't face it, first of all, you have to remember that no matter what you're feeling, no one understands what you're feeling except for yourself, because no one knows all the little things that you went through, all the things that you overcame. And then you have to just remember that you're strong and you can do it. And then you'll be great. And never forget, you know, if I packed all of my stuff into a Daewoo, drove home in a blizzard, not a blizzard, but like a tsunami basically, and couldn't even see in front of me, went home to my dad, who made me do 8 hours of yard work in the middle of the summer when I was 280 pounds, and also made me job search until I found a job. Like, I rebuilt my life, and look at what I have. I don't have a perfect life. I'm not happy all the time, but I have so much more than I had 7 years ago, and it's amazing. So I felt like everything happened for a reason and the pieces fell in place so I could share this story with you guys. So if you enjoyed the story, I'm going to cut it off because I'm almost 14 minutes and I was hoping to be under 15. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Either way is fine with me. And comment below. Share your story. I want to hear them. But I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.